Okay. Okay, everybody. You can hear me, yes? At this level? Yeah, okay, good. Are we good? Yeah. Good morning. Yes. So we're at this second precept, yeah? And not taking what is not given. And again, as Susan has expressed, um, most of us are not stealing, outright stealing, yeah, at this point in our lives. And I remember I used to skip over this one pretty quickly. Oh yeah, I'll check that one off. Of course, I'm not stealing. I'm a good person. I'm not stealing. Um, but with all of these precepts, it's really about looking at them with more nuance, with more subtlety, and how it can play out, how the second precept can play out, and how it can be relevant in each of our lives. And that's part of it. And of course, this precept is very much connected with one of the three poisons in Buddhism, which is greed. Yeah? It's considered to be one of the big ones. And of course, we're wired for that in a way. That's part of that sense of wanting enough, but then wanting more than enough, wanting more, wanting more. And how that can affect our quality of life in various ways. And it's very much connected with the dance between uh, wanting more, or greed or craving at one extreme, and the other extreme of contentment. Yeah, the balancing, the balance of that. Now I have enough. Is it enough? When is it enough? When is enough enough? It's beginning to watch that tendency and that dance between what is necessity. I need more. I do need more. Huh? And when is it just extra, just boredom, just 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 wanting more of something to fill myself up. You know, and we can all relate to this in various ways. Yeah, there's and sometimes they're subtle. Sometimes they're subtle. Well, we're getting more subtle in the practice. That's part of the direction of this practice, is to become more subtle and more nuanced in our thought and our behavior and our contemplation and in our intention. Yeah, as Susan mentioned the other day, intention, our motivation, what's going on there. I think you've heard me share this quote with you before. It's a Tibetan uh, quote. Um, Looking for happiness or contentment outside of oneself is like waiting for sunshine in a cave facing north. Yeah. This is considered to be, not particularly a high teaching, except it is a high teaching. It's an everyday colloquial expression like, ha ha ha. We all know that the deep contentment that we're looking for is within. It's not going to be achieved or attained by gathering more around us in just the right order, in just the right combination, no matter how long we look for it out here. And yet the American way, the Western way, as a consumer society, and the marketers are all about this, right? The marketers are all about convincing us that you aren't happy until you have this, not until you have this. Well, and that kind of corporate greed, the exporting of our corporate greed, we see it everywhere in the world. We see it everywhere in the world. We have a good friend who lives in Thailand, and in a small village in Thailand, and the Thai woman who he is married to has two teenage daughters. Yeah, over in a rural village in Thailand. And they're insisting on having not just some Apple phone, but the most advanced Apple phone. No, no. Yeah. And the mother will say, they used to be content, but Western marketing has its way of infiltrating everywhere. Now they don't feel like they're going to they have enough unless they have the best phone. Yeah. Yeah. And this is the way it goes. Uh, those of you who have kids know that the marketers are getting at kids younger and younger and younger. But there's that sense of and it's one of our core, it's one of the things that's core, it's part of our wiring, strategies of acquisition and strategies of avoidance, But in terms of the second precept, it's the strategies of acquisition. How much more? How much more do we want? When is enough enough? When are we really content with enough? Yeah. And this can play out in all kinds of ways. One of the ways it is in interpersonal relationships, wanting more. And another one of the correlations is just wanting more in a relationship. This person wanting more from a friendship, wanting more from a partner. Yeah. We see this all the time in relationships. And we've been couples therapists for a long time as well. My partner is not enough, wanting more, wanting more, wanting more from our mother or father, wanting more than that person has capacity to offer. One of the correlations of the second precept is wanting more than is offered. Wanting more than is offered by the other person. Yeah. No, did you ever hear that expression? That somebody wants give somebody an inch and they want a mile. Remember that old expression? Give somebody an inch and they want a mile. Yeah, it's not enough. Something is offered, something more is wanted. That's nice. That's nice that you offered this, but I want more. It's nice that you did this for me. I appreciate that for a moment, but now I want more, or I want to point out the one thing that you didn't do for me. Not just appreciate and rest and revel in all of the wonderful things that have been offered, but in that negativity bias, looking for the one thing that isn't right, that isn't enough, that isn't quite enough. Yeah. Yeah. And this can be it actually can be part of the water that we swim in, kind of a little bit, just wanting a little bit more, and then I'll be content. A little bit more out here. Yeah, yeah, that was good, but I need a little more chocolate. I need a little bit more, a little more. It's part of our wiring. It's not one more thing to judge about ourselves. None of these things, none of these precepts are we're exploring in order to increase our self-judgment. We have plenty of that going on, and the ethics that underpin all of this are not to be prescriptions. They're really about, let's just take a closer look. Let's take a closer look at our tendency to want more rather than to feel what is going on to be enough. We can do it in all kinds of ways. The weather isn't enough. What the weather presents is not enough. When is it going to be sunny? I'm not going to be happy until it's sunny. When is the rain going to stop? When is the snow going to stop? I mean, the weather's the weather, but I'm not really going to be happy until something changes out there, out there, Mm. Mm. When is the present moment going to be enough? When is it going to be enough? Sometimes we'll do this meditation. We do this in meditation too, right? I used to do this all the time. Oh, that's nice. I'm a little bit more mindful. I'm a little bit less reactive, but that's not enough. I want the big bells and whistles. I read about them in these spiritual books. That's what I want. This present moment, yeah, I don't know. It's kind of boring. Sure, the heart is beating, the breath is moving, awareness is here. I'm in this body, relatively healthy, surrounded by wonderful sounds, surrounded by good people. No, I need more. That's not enough. That's not enough. Let me scramble around and look for something more entertaining. Haven't we all done that in meditation? This isn't enough. This is boring. Yeah, man, it's kind of boring. The breath is boring today. Let me go plan my next vacation. Let me go planning. Let me go wandering. What are we wandering for? We're not content with the embarrassment of riches. We'll say the embarrassment of riches of the present moment. You know, we don't think it's here. It's must be a. Where else is it? Where else is it? Yeah. Yeah. So it's just taking a look at that tendency, which is really there in more subtle ways for us, And for me, the second precept is about an exploration of contentment and its lack thereof. Yeah. And all the ways that it shows up, interpersonally, in my meditation practice, and etc. It shows up a lot in subtle ways if we look there. And the invitation is just that, to look more carefully, with more, like a bird cocking his head, with a little more like, what is going on here? You know, well, it's an eating meditation, one bite, immediately, impulsively to the next bite, to the next one, to the next one, as opposed to the fullness of this one, the enoughness of this one, of this moment. So it's that tumbling forward, that reaching forward, the wanting more from others, from ourselves. My body isn't enough. My body isn't enough. It's not behaving quite right. I'm feeling a little funky today. That's not enough. I don't want to make a relationship with that. I'm not enough. I'm not enough. Something's not enough. Yeah. As opposed to, oh my goodness, this is all a miracle all the time. You know, we can drop into that space for moments, and then that other side of that other aspect of our nature kicks in. Yeah. So again, this is the invitation of these precepts, is to just look with a bit more nuance at what's up. And in this case, it's, yeah, not taking what's not given, but also not appreciating what's offered. Hmm? Not appreciating the fullness, the richness of what's offered. Yeah. Yeah. So I offer that to you for your reflection on the first noble truth. On the second precept. On the second precept. It's also connected with the first noble truth uh, of dukkha. But yeah. And thank you so much. Thank you so much for your kind attention. So let's see what's cooking this morning as we orient toward meditation now, opening up the body. And when you're ready, slowly, beginning to slow down your movements, maybe lightly closing the eyes and see if there are any other more subtle movements there as you begin to orient toward comfortable breath, comfortable posture. Now we can begin our meditation, as I will so often do, with as if we're already starting from a place of fullness and enoughness. Yeah. That is to say, the heart is already beating. As I will often say, oh, hey, we woke up this morning. The heart is already beating. The breath is already moving. Awareness is already here. And the sense organs are working already. Sounds are arising already. Physical sensations are arising. The thoughts are arising on their own. There is already a whole world of experience here. Life is moving through us constantly, like a fountain overflowing. And so in this way, we orient toward ease, toward settledness, also toward enoughness, also toward contentment. With the incredible richness of what is right here, right now. As if it were way more than enough. mind wanders, becomes distracted, simply returning as if to something rich, in the breath of life. In the last few minutes of the meditation, settling back a bit more in the spirit of welcoming and appreciating whatever is arising in your experience as if it really were incredible.
Thank you all for your practice.
Thank you so much.
Stop the recording.